So it's about to be the end of 2023. It's coming up on December, around the second week, and everywhere you turn, people are talking about 2024 and what they want to achieve, and making all these very, very big positive proclamations about the new year. Except for me, I am still very much stuck in 2020. Well, not stuck, but I'm still very much in this year because there are some things that I believe I still need to do for the year in order to wrap up. There are some things that I believe everyone needs to do before they talk about 2024 and what they want to achieve. This is a very important step if you hope to succeed come 2024. In the business and corporate world, there's something called performance review. And this is basically like an assessment or appraisal system where the company or the business kind of evaluates like an employee's performance. It's like a system where they go through, what you're doing and try to measure your performance against the results that you've gotten, against the goals that have been set by the organization. People who and the corporate or business world will be very familiar with this system called performance management. And it's very, very, it works. Actually, it works. And that's how companies and businesses are able to, track performances and track actions and track activities of every employee, every department, every, the entire company, just so everyone is on track. If the process is done correctly, it eventually shows an employee's strengths, weaknesses, what they've been doing throughout the year. There's feedback system that happens, and then there are recommended actions that will be kind of noted down by the manager and the employee so that they know what to do next. In all of this, both the employee and the company or the manager, they have one goal, which is to succeed as far as what the company wants to do, right? Now, they take the results of this exercise and then, factor that in when they are fixing goals for the subsequent month or quarter or even financial year. That exercise is what we're going to be doing in our personal life, because even though it's mostly for companies and businesses, you can do it for yourself. I can do it for myself. I'm trying to do it for myself right now for the year. I'm trying to run down what this year has been, because I believe that even though it's nice to say these wonderful things that we want for 2024, I think a way to reduce failure or repetition of mistakes, or just to increase our chances of success, will be to look back at what happened throughout the year. I'm hoping that everybody writes their goals down somewhere. If you're someone who doesn't write down their goals, maybe instead of hoping and dreaming of like a better 2024, one thing you should bear in mind now, let me say it here, is to write down what you're trying to achieve. But before you do that, this performance review or personal performance review, I just coined that, by the way. This personal performance review is something that I'll be doing here in this video, so we'll all go through everything together. I'm not going to tell you what my specific goals were, but I'll break down what my 2023 was supposed to be like. So I have like 4 categories. One would be health and fitness, the other is finance/work, the third is my relationships, and the fourth is personal development. So I'll just run through, these 4 areas, and I'll kind of be honest and tell you guys what I did do, what I did not do, and where I'm at. Mostly, I'll share my failures and what I've learned in this year and what I'm trying to, do to prevent repeating the same thing and hopefully have a better 2024. So that's what this video is about. So I encourage you to grab a pen and paper, grab your notepad, your notebooks, your diary, whatever you have, so that I'll do this together. And this is not like a judgment zone. I'm never like one to come and talk about life and things as if I've succeeded at them. This is like a learning process for all of us, myself included. So hopefully at the end of this exercise, we'll all have a better picture of what our year actually was, what we actually did or did not do, why we are where we are, where we actually are, what we're trying to do next year, and what actions we need to take in order to succeed in our 2024. So that when we get to the point where we are setting goals and setting dreams and aspirations for next year, we have like better clarity. We'll know what to do, what not to do. So that's what this video is about. Let's get into it. In case you see my content for the very first time, hi, my name is Sky. Welcome to my channel. Over here, I talk all things minimalist lifestyle, creativity, productivity. Everything is simple and chill over here. So if you like the vibe, please consider subscribing, right? So like I said, let's leave 2024 and goal setting and all of these wishes to the side first of all, and go back to 2023. This is my notes. Everyone that watches my video has seen these notes. This is like my everything. So all my goals, or what I hoped to do and achieve this year, is here somewhere. One thing about this exercise, and when I was in my corporate era, when I had it 9 to 5, during these appraisal systems or during this appraisal activities, it's always a very tense period because both the manager and the employee, like, there usually is some tension because it requires honesty. It requires total honesty. There's no point lying to yourself. There's no point embellishing what you did or did not do. I believe we all know ourselves the best. So if there's any area that you need to tell yourself certain truths, you have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to grow. So for me, talking about health and fitness, at the beginning of the year, I actually intended to take my fitness more seriously. I intended to go to the gym and register because I'm at a place where I feel like I've kind of plateaued when it comes to home exercises. I did a video some weeks back about my stretching routine or my home stretching routine that I do at home every day. And that is great. That has helped me tremendously, managing pain. I don't have lots of body pain like I used to have because I used to suffer crazy body pain. But stretching every day has kind of helped me manage that. So, and I'm very happy with what my body feels like on most days. But I'm not 100% satisfied with how I am. I wish I'm stronger. I really want to, add a little bit of weight, but like muscle weight. And I've been watching and following some creators that do, some fitness routines. And I kind of wish I go to the gym and, lift weights. So I had that intention at the beginning of the year. I haven't written it down that I'll go and register in the gym. But that did not happen. So that was a failure on my part. What that has now done is that I'm now still at a place where I'm not very happy with my fitness, even though like I'm content, but I know I can be better. I know I want to be better, but I didn't take the steps that I should have taken in order to achieve that goal. So on the negative side also, I've also then lost a little bit of weight, and this was intentional, but that has happened also. So what happens with your body as you're growing older is that it's either you have to do a little bit more work to maintain a certain level when it comes to your health and fitness. Like being in your 30s is a whole different ball game. When you're 20s, you can get away with not working out and not hacking your fitness. But as you're getting older, you have to put a little bit more effort in what you're eating, how you're working out. So I didn't do as much as I would have liked. When it also comes to diet and supplements and nutrients, I also wasn't consistent with my supplements intake. There were months where I took supplements and I'll feel great, and there's some months where I just wouldn't care and just rely on my food. And if you know anything about nutrition, you know that more often than not we don't get as much as we actually require when it comes to our food, unless you are like deliberate in cooking and curating your diet to give you those nutrients. But more often than not, at certain age or level in your life, you might need external help or extra help with supplements and whatnot. So I didn't do that. I wasn't very diligent with that. So that also suffered. I've spoken about my hormonal acne problems here on the channel, and I still suffer those. And one thing about proper diet is that it can help you manage many of these problems. So the fact that I didn't take those nutritional aspects very seriously, I can see the results. My skin, let me put it that way, is kind of suffering from that, I believe. So that's a huge failure. So I had one success with the stretching, and then I failed the other aspect. I didn't go to gym, so no strength training. I didn't add weights that I wanted to add, and my skin and whatnot, like my overall freshness kind of suffered for not taking these supplements. So that's one failure. So the lesson here, you guys, is like sometimes you need to take specific actions. If there are certain goals you're trying to achieve, it's not enough to write it down. It's not enough to wish it. You have to actually take the step. I was supposed to actually go and register at the gym, knowing that I've plateaued with my home exercise. If you're someone who doesn't exercise at all and trying to exercise, maybe starting out with buying some home equipment or learning to skip and whatnot can help you. But you need to know where you are at and where you're trying to go. One other lesson here is that complacency is the enemy of success. I kind of told myself that, my home workouts were good enough. Like I felt comfortable because I was doing something, and I didn't feel too bad because I know I was at least moving my body. I'll take walks here and there, and that's one bad thing. If you know you are at, let me say, level 3 for anything at all, even if it's fitness or anything, and you need to get to level 7, you might need to push yourself. So it's not enough to be okay. You need to push yourself more. If for example, people who are in the gym or people who are into fitness will tell you that after a while they kind of increase your reps. People that are lifting weights can start lifting at, let me say, 50 kg. After a while, your trainer will tell you to start carrying 80 kg because you need to make progressive movement towards your goals. So if at certain pace you know that you need to, increase your pace or increase your intensity or increase your reps or increase your capacity, but you need to make that progressive push if you're going to see results. I touched on my acne just now, and it's true. I intended to get a chemical peel at some point this year, but that didn't happen. In my defense, I mean, if you guys follow this channel, you know that I kind of move between Accra and Lagos, so I'm not like in one place 100%, even mentally. So, and also these things are pretty expensive, and you have to like dedicate a certain time and resources into, having this treatment. So I didn't do that, which is again why I still have all the scars and all the acne problems. So yeah, I didn't do my chemical treatments, and I didn't take my skincare extra seriously. I didn't invest as much as I should have when it comes to my skin, and I'm suffering the results. I'll get to finance and work in a bit, but let's talk about relationships next, because this is another area where I didn't do nearly as much as I should have when it comes to relationships. As far as my friendships go, I've spoken about it on the channel before. Like, I have friends. I'm not like one of those people who don't have friends. I have friends, and I didn't make new friends. I didn't make any new friend this year at all, which is not that great. Even though it's not like I need to make new friends, but I would have loved to, and I wanted to make friends at the beginning of the year. Living in a new place, living in Accra here, I thought I'd be able to go out, socialize, make friends, and all that, but I didn't succeed with that. And a part of it is my fault because I didn't put myself out there. In fact, there was a time subconsciously I kind of told myself that I'll stop trying. I kind of low-key actively stopped trying to meet people. For some reason I just kind of got tired and kind of left it, which is why I didn't make any friends. The other part of it is just one of those things. Making friends as an adult, making friends in your adulthood, it's like a whole different ballgame. When you're younger, you're more optimistic, you're more out there, you're bolder, you don't really have as much inhibitions. But as you're getting older, it's like you're a little bit more careful, on how you meet people, how you get people into your life, and vice versa. So that takes a little bit more consideration. And as a woman too, there's an extra layer of concern, extra layer of carefulness that you need to have when you're having these social interactions. So it doesn't happen for me. I didn't meet anybody. I didn't date at all this year, which is crazy because I should be dating. But that didn't happen. Again, mixture of me not wanting to put myself out there because I was just not in the mood. So I didn't put myself out there at all. And dating in Accra or dating in Ghana has been a whole other experience. Let me know in the comments if you want me to break down what it's been like, because it's very interesting, you guys. But anyway, that didn't happen for me. Dating, relationships, friendships, marriage, you guys, all of that did not happen for me this year, for the reasons that I've already mentioned. So that was a bust. But as far as my existing friendships go, I would say that I kind of succeeded at them, in the sense that I felt like, okay, let me put it this way. There are a couple of friends that I've kind of not let go of, but I've kind of realigned in the way the friendship is going, not because of anything, it's just because life happens. Sometimes you can't really keep up with every single person, every single thing. Sometimes relationships evolve, friendships evolve, and it doesn't have to be conflict. Sometimes things just evolve and you kind of let some friendships go or kind of change. So I had some friendships change in a way, and then I got better and deeper with some other people, which is what I think is supposed to happen anyway. So as far as that goes, I think I'm okay. And then the friends that I do have, by my own observation and my own analysis, because remember that we're doing personal performance review. So I'm being honest here. I feel like I did not really drop the ball a lot when it comes to my friends and even my family. Like, I was able to keep in touch with people that I cared about. I was able to show up in a little way that I could, because sometimes life will happen. Adulthood what will happen, but we shouldn't take that as an excuse to not be there for our loved ones. And so if you are a friend, wife, girlfriend, child, whatever relationship you have with other people, despite lifing, you need to find a way to be there and show up for your loved ones, which is something that I'm proud of myself for doing, even though it was hard many times. And I'm sure I wasn't 100% perfect, but at least I made an effort. With your loved ones and your friends and family, you have to make efforts. You have to show up. That's one thing that I know. So I was happy, about that. That's as far as relationships go. I hope that next year is better. But yeah, that's it. Oh, now it's finance and work. for people who haven't watched my channel before, or if you're seeing this for the first time, so I have two aspects to my career. One is I'm a photographer hoping to go into filmmaking. So I have a media business. So that's one aspect. So I have a fashion accessory jewelry business, right, online. So that's like two areas of my work, so to speak. So when it comes to my media business, my photography business, my intention at the beginning of the year, I had specific things that I wanted to do, from shooting editorial. I was hoping I'll get published this year in one publication, a magazine or something. I did apply to the Nikon awards. I'll put it here on the screen. There's an awards they do every year that Nikon does every year, and I use a Nikon, so I'm a Nikon babe. I've been wanting to apply for that competition like for years, so I did that this year. So I hoped to do more. I intended to do more, and then I was hoping to network more and just book more gigs, basically. So I really hope to take my business to a new level this year, book more gigs, and I kind of picked up wedding photography, kind of, and at some point in the year I kind of developed or designed a product or a special service that I wanted to kind of sell to new brides, potential brides, or even couples. And I had this entire product designed. I have the entire framework done, and I think I spoke to like my friends about it, and everyone said, oh, it's a great idea. So I tested the idea out, and I think I even tested it out at a wedding that I shot, my friend's wedding that I shot earlier this year, back in July. And I really liked it, and I really believe in that niche. It's something that I feel will propel me or take me, towards a very profitable branded business, so to speak. But I didn't do certain things. I didn't promote that service. I didn't really push myself out there. And, being here in Accra, not having a network of people that I know, like I don't know lots of people here in Accra. So I needed to have done something extraordinary as far as networking goes. I needed to have pushed to second shoot for more people. Even though I did speak to a couple of photographers here and there, I applied to one person, and then I spoke directly to like two people, and those two people I kind of worked with them before, so nothing new. So I didn't really network to new people, kind of, except for one or two, here and there. So I didn't do enough to get my name and get my work out there as far as my photography goes, and that's telling. So I didn't book nearly as much jobs as I should have and that I wanted to. And that kind of hit me really hard, not just financially, but creatively too. Because if you're a creative person, then you need to create, you need to work, you need to have your work out there, you need to, get yourself published, you need to get your work in people's faces, you need to get your face and your name out there. So I didn't do that for my photography business. And, something that photographers do or creators do globally is to also like collaborate for shoots, reach out to other creators. So let's say you wanted to do like an editorial, for example, you can, hire a model, get a makeup artist, or, hire a location and, shoot content and then push out that content, promote the content. That's one way for you to get your name and your work out there. But I wasn't able to do that for some reason. I mean, I know why, but I didn't do that. So I can give myself excuses all I want, but that didn't happen, period. As far as the people that I did serve, I don't think I had any issues. I didn't have any clients complain about not being satisfied. I delivered my work as I went due. I think I have execution down pat as far as if I have something to do work-wise. I think I have enough skills and discipline to get it done. So I don't think I failed any client in that sense, but I should have gotten way more clients. And at the very least, I should have even organized my own work, my own editorial, my own shoots. And that's also for me to reach out to other creators, get them to know you, work with them, and possibly maybe find a team, because all of these things help. So I didn't do that. The area of photography that I also like, that I also enjoy, is shooting BTS for films. I've done 2 or 3 so far, and I have them up on my page, but I was hoping to do more. I really love film, you guys. I really want to be a filmmaker and producer and TV producer and all of those things. And doing photography in film is like best of both worlds for me, really. And I really enjoyed being on film sets. I enjoyed filming that, and it's quite a lucrative niche in photography. So I was hoping to get on film sets the more this year, to shoot BTS, yes, but also to get hands-on experience, in producing TV and film content. So that didn't happen. I didn't reach out to filmmakers to ask, even though I kind of tweeted it here and there, but I didn't really take specific steps or active steps to get myself on film sets or get hired on film sets. So that didn't happen for me. Again, my fault. I'm hoping that I'll fix that next year. Yeah, that's as far as my photography and my creative business goes. Now to my jewelry business too, I had ideas on the kind of products I wanted to bring. I had an idea to launch collections as opposed to random products here and there, because I wanted to, or let me say I have the dream of making my jewelry business like more branded. So from packaging to the kind of jewelry, the style of jewelry, to curate it more thoughtfully. I had all of these intentions in my mind, but that didn't happen. I know why it didn't happen, but it didn't happen. Again, you can give yourself excuses, but ultimately that didn't happen. And so it did what it did. Like, I was not consistent with posting content. I wasn't consistent with even bringing out new products. And ultimately, if you're doing any form of retail business, if you don't have markets, you will not sell markets. That's A equals B, right? If you don't launch products, you're not going to sell. If you don't sell, then you don't make money. It's as simple as that. So I didn't do as much as I could, and I didn't do anything special. I didn't brand the product. I didn't do what I intended to do at the beginning of the year as far as my jewelry business goes. So it's like I didn't see much growth there. I saw barely, like, if anything, I think I even saw like a weak line of sorts. So what this means for both businesses is that ultimately my finance suffered, right? So the more work you do, the more things you sell, the more money you make. So the less work I did, the less jewelry I sold, the more money I made. Simple as that, right? So if you want your finances to do better, if you want to make more money, work more, sell more. That's basically the lesson here. I didn't have any goals as far as savings. I know savings is a big thing that most people have goals around. I want to save XYZ. I want to save all of this. But I knew and I know that more often than not, the average person, I think savings might not be as much of a big concern as earning, right? Sometimes it's not an expenditure problem, it's an income problem. So for me specifically, I knew my problem wasn't spending, it wasn't money management, it was more of money earning. Like, I needed to earn more, I needed to do more, work more, make more money. Then I'll worry about savings, because ultimately you need to make money to save money. So if you're someone who doesn't have making money as a problem, if your problem is saving money or being more responsible with your finances, then maybe having a savings goal is great. But for me, that isn't my specific problem. It's more of earning money. So I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have any problem with saving for me specifically. Next is personal development, and this is a very important aspect to anybody's life. Like, whatever you're doing, personal development or your personal awareness or your personal well-being is, I think, arguably the most important, because every other thing kind of hinges on it in a way, minus health. I mean, yeah. So after health, personal development is, I think, the next most important aspect that most people should pay attention to. And for this year, like I said, I didn't plan to learn anything new. I intentionally told myself that I don't want to gain any new knowledge or gain any new skills just for the hell of it. I wanted to optimize what I already knew. I wanted to optimize time management. I wanted to optimize my mental health. I wanted to optimize my overall well-being. When it comes to time management, I think I did fairly well. Making to-do lists, I'm using to-do lists every time. I'm planning out my activities, my content here on YouTube, for example. I spoke about how much planning and making to-do lists have helped me, like day-to-day life, and even for my work, YouTube and the rest of them. And I think that helps. So if you're someone who, time management is a huge concern for you, consider, watching my videos on making to-do lists and, being more organized with your time. Because if you can manage your time, you can live a better life, because you know where to put your energies in, you know what is eating your time, you know what is wasting your time, you know how to save your time, and all of these things contribute to you being more productive and happier in general. So I feel like I did decently when it comes to time management. I didn't waste my time a lot on random things, except one. Now, being honest again with myself, I spent, I think, more time than I would have liked on Twitter. Not social media, because I don't spend too much time on Instagram. I barely spend it, like, I don't spend any time at all on any other platform. Even YouTube, I think, is decent. My YouTube consumption is not crazy. As a creator myself, I spend some time here naturally, and I like YouTube. I love watching YouTube videos, and I did spend some time watching YouTube videos, but I don't think I spent too much. That's a problem. My problem area is Twitter, and I spend lots of time on Twitter. And there were weeks and days where I would log off, but somehow I don't think I did enough. I think I should have I don't know, save more time or just use it less. I don't know that is something that I should worry about as at yet, because it's not like I have something to do and then I can't do it. I'm on Twitter. No, that's not what my issue is. So I feel it's just me not working so much, so I had a little bit more free time, and then I spend this free time on Twitter. So I think that is something that I should work on in the coming year. But beyond that, I don't think I wasted my time on anything. I think nothing comes to mind, nothing concerning. Let me put it that way. So personal development, I think that's about it. As far as my mental health goes, I feel like I was a little self-contained. Like, I didn't put myself out there a lot. While that might be a problem on one hand, on the other hand, what this does for you is that it kind of makes you insulated in a way. So I'm not really exposed to lots of chaos. I'm not really exposed to lots of problems out there. So I'm kind of like, even online, I would see discussions and news that are like problematic, and I just won't engage. Like things like Nigerian politics, for example, I just didn't engage as much. Things like social issues, really. So there were times when I'll be so bothered by these social issues, and I'll get so hot and bothered, and it will worry me so much. But this year I kind of scaled back a lot, because sometimes I noticed that some of these news and information that are out there, they're usually rage baiting us, more or less. So they say these headlines and these things happen, and they more or less bait you into being angry all the time. So I've kind of reduced my exposure to things and people and situations and information. Earlier in the year, at some point, I just felt like have like information overload, and most of us are kind of overstimulated. Like Twitter especially is like a place where there's like 1,000,001 billions of data and information is being passed out by the second. So the more time you spend there, the more you're exposed to all of this news. And most news these days are just bad news. From Nigeria to Ghana to all over the world, there's news of war and conflict, and it's just so much bad news out there. So if you're online, you are going to be exposed to all of these things. So this year, I've kind of like scaled back a lot, and that's helped me tremendously. Not making friends, not dating, not putting myself out there also kind of made my life more peaceful this year. So I mean, for better for worse, that's a plus for me. Let me speak very briefly about the spiritual, and I filed this under personal development because it should be under health, but let me put it here. This year was a success for me as far as spiritual my spiritual life goes, in the sense that I just, for some reason, found myself more in tune in that sense. So I prayed more, I go back into fasting. So I went years not really fasting or saying they need to, but this year I was able to fast a few times, and I like that. I don't know that it's done. Like, what is done for me is not like tangible or material, but it's definitely spiritual and even mental and emotional too, to an extent. And one thing that helped me a lot is an app called YouVersion. Like, most people know YouVersion, the Bible app, and on there, I think I mentioned this in my I think the best apps or my most used apps that I use every day. I'll put the video up here so you can see. So I mentioned in that video that I use the YouVersion Bible app every single day, because you get daily Bible verses that help you. There is lots of plans, so even like instead of you going to scour for what verses to read regarding certain issues, plans have been curated on there to help you. So if I wanted to pray about certain things or read verses about certain things, I'll just go on there and just type in, okay, let me say anxiety or giving or something. And you have all these plans that are already curated in one place. So I was able to use the YouVersion Bible app every day. So every day I wake up, I know there's a verse for me to read. And if there are specific verses that comes to my spirit that I want to read, then I can go and search, because he has an inbuilt Bible anyway, different versions of the Bible. So if I wanted to read a certain verse across different versions, I could do that. If I want to look for specific verses for specific issues, I can do that. And then the plans also helped me. So that app really helped me a lot this year. Gospel music too. Gospel music was like that. The other day I was looking at my Spotify Wrapped for this year. And I mean, I'll put it here on the screen. Very funny. And but not surprising, Natalia Bassi is one of my favorite artists, gospel or not. Although I mean he's up there. Lucy Onyeko is there, and you know, a few other people. So gospel music was a huge part of my 2023, and it kind of helped my spiritual life. It helped my spiritual well-being. It helped my spiritual development, and I really hope to do more next year as far as my spiritual life goes. There are some areas that I feel I need to work on too, but as far as this year goes, I think I did a decent job. I mean, God knows everybody's heart and whatnot, but as far as action and my specific, you know, what I did day to day, I feel like I was a little bit decent in that area. Ooh, that was very brutal. And there are other areas that I won't touch on so that this video is not too long. But this exercise is very important for you to do before you set your goals for next year. Like now, I know my areas, I know my weaknesses, I know my gaps, I know where I need to work on, I know where I need to touch on, I know where I need to improve upon, where I need to strike out, I know what I need to do. I have a clearer pathway towards next year and towards my success for next year. And I feel like this is something that will help me increase my chances of success for next year, because I really want to have a better 2024. I really want to have an amazing 2024, and I believe that this will help me, and I think it will help you too. So please let me know if you do this personal performance review. Let me know you know, what your 2023 was like or is like, because it's still ongoing, it's not over yet. Let me know how it's going. Let me know what you think this will do for you, or if you've done this already, or if you normally do this, let me know. Just leave me a comment below. I would love to hear and interact with you on this, because this is a very important thing, I feel, for me and for anybody who needs it. A few takeaways here that you should bear in mind while making your plans for next year again is that, like you've seen, I've run down my own year. Making plans are great, making affirmations are great, but if you don't take action, it won't happen. And it's important to be honest with yourself at every point. You can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. Be honest, take action, strike away fear, because one of these things that I did not do, lots of it was due to fear. Lots of it was due to me focusing on what I didn't have as opposed to what I have, what I couldn't do as opposed to what I could do. So striking away fear, striking away imposter syndrome, because I have a lot. That's a huge problem for me. So if you have any negative feelings or emotions like fear, imposter syndrome, doubt, self-doubt, all of these things, do away with them. And when setting goals for next year, please be realistic. Don't just set goals because everyone is setting goals and doing vision boards and all of these wonderful things. So set your goals and set your aspirations to suit your life, what you need, what you want to do for next year, where you're trying to go for next year. And yeah, I think I'll do another video where I'll run through what I want to do for next year. I'm trying to do my goal setting in a specific, unique, new way. I am considering using Ali Abdaal's Trident method. It's a very interesting theory that he has, or let me say system that he has, that he swears by. So I'm looking at maybe using that to set my goals for next year, if it's going to help. And I'll take you guys along that, I guess. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If it helps in any way, I want to hear from you. Please subscribe in case you haven't. I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.